Scorpio, do you remember that feeling? That exact moment when you realized someone was laughing at you behind your back? When you discovered that people you considered close to you were making fun of your dreams, mocking your plans, treating your ambitions as if they were childish fantasies? Maybe it was at a work meeting where your idea was dismissed with a condescending smile. Maybe it was among friends where your absence became a laughingstock. Or perhaps it was within your own family, where your projects were greeted with that look that says, "Here he goes again with those impossible things." In that moment, something inside you died a little. It wasn't just your bruised ego. It was something much deeper. It was the brutal realization that the people who were supposed to support you were actually secretly rooting for your failure. They were comfortable with the small version of you, the version that didn't threaten them, that didn't make them question their own limitations. And when you dared to dream big, when you dared to believe you deserved more, they laughed. They laughed because your courage to try exposed their cowardice in not even trying. You returned home that day, carrying a pain no one could see, a pain that made you question not only your dreams, but your own judgment. Are they right? Am I truly being delusional? These questions echoed through your mind through sleepless nights, eroding your confidence from the inside out. And for a moment, just for a moment, you almost gave in. You almost shelved your dreams and accepted the small, safe life they thought you deserved. But you're a Scorpio, and Scorpios don't just survive, they transform. While they laughed, you dove. You dove deep into your own soul, into the darkest corners of your resolve, into the places most people fear to go. You turned every laugh into fuel, every snide comment into motivation, every moment of humiliation into a stepping stone to your resurrection. They didn't know who they were messing with. They didn't understand that by laughing at you, they were awakening a force that had lain dormant, a force you yourself had forgotten you possessed. Because the truth about you, Scorpio, is that you weren't made for ordinary lives. You weren't made to settle for crumbs, to accept less than you deserve, to live in the shadow of mediocre people who feel threatened by your intensity. What they interpreted as failure was merely preparation. What they saw as naivete was only the beginning of a transformation they can't even imagine. While they wasted energy ridiculing you, you were silently building something that will leave them speechless. Something that will turn every laugh into amazement, every joke into reluctant admiration, every moment of derision into deep regret. And here's what will shock these people the most. You didn't do it for revenge. You did it because you finally understood your own worth. You finally stopped seeking external validation and started honoring the inner voice that always knew you were capable of so much more. The transformation that's coming isn't a response to their laughter. It's a response to the call of your own soul, which is tired of being silenced. Scorpio, how long have you been carrying this pain? This feeling of not being taken seriously, of having your ideas dismissed before they're even considered, of being seen as too intense, too ambitious, too dreamy. Have you ever felt invisible in a room full of people, as if your words carried no weight, as if your presence didn't matter? And worst of all, have you ever reached the point of doubting yourself, of looking in the mirror and wondering if maybe they were right, if maybe you really were just another dreamer with no feet on the ground, another ordinary person trying to pass themselves off as special? If you've ever felt that searing pain of being underestimated by people who should have supported you, if you've ever choked back tears of frustration because no one could see your true potential, I need you to leave a comment right now. Write exactly this. I know what it's like to be underestimated, but my time is coming. It's not just a comment, it's a statement. It's you reconnecting with your own strength and helping other Scorpios remember they're not alone in this silent struggle. Every comment you make will touch the heart of someone going through the same pain, feeling like no one believes in their potential. You'll be reaching out to those who need a reminder that being misunderstood doesn't mean being incapable. Do it now. Be the voice you wish you'd heard when you were at your darkest. Because that's exactly what will happen when your transformation fully manifests. You'll become living proof that they were wrong about you. The upcoming turnaround in your life won't be subtle. It won't be a gradual improvement that people can pretend they didn't notice. It will be a transformation so complete, so stunning, that it will force even the most skeptical to admit they completely underestimated you. It will be the kind of change that makes people remember exactly what they said about you in the past and feel a pit in their stomach with embarrassment. Imagine the look on their faces when they discover what you built while they were busy doubting. When they realize that while they were wasting time talking about you, you were quietly creating something extraordinary. When they understand that your obsession was actually dedication, that your intensity was actually focus, that your impossible dreams were actually visions of the future. For Scorpios born between October 23rd and November 2nd, this transformation will manifest itself through public recognition that will take everyone by surprise. Something you've built in the shadows will gain explosive visibility. For those born between November 3rd and 12th, the turnaround will be financial or material. Resources that seemed impossible will materialize almost magically. And for those born between November 13th and 22nd, the transformation will be personal and magnetic. You will become such a powerful version of yourself that people will be unable to ignore your presence. But regardless of how it manifests, all those people who laughed will experience the same shock. They'll have to confront the fact that their judgments were completely wrong, that their ability to assess potential is flawed, that maybe, just maybe, they missed something important by underestimating you. The sweetest part of all this won't be proving them wrong. It'll be discovering that you never needed their approval to become who you were always meant to be, that the power was within you all along, waiting for the right moment to emerge. That their laughter, however painful, never had the true power to define your worth or determine your future. Scorpio, there's something profoundly transformative about being forged by the fire of rejection, while people who receive constant support can become dependent on external validation. You've developed an unshakable inner strength. You've learned to trust your own vision even when no one else can see it. You've developed the ability to persist even when everyone around you doubts it. And it's precisely this strength that's about to shock these people. They're used to people who give up at the first criticism, who abandon their dreams at the first sign of disapproval. They've never seen someone who uses rejection as fuel, who transforms every no into renewed determination. You're going to be a completely new experience for them. The coming transformation will reveal something they never saw in you, your capacity for total regeneration. Like a phoenix rising from its own ashes, you will emerge from everything they tried to do to you not only intact, but more powerful than ever. And this metamorphosis will be so radical that it will force these people to question not only what they thought of you, but what they think of human possibility in general. They'll wonder how they missed the signs of what was coming. They'll mentally review every interaction they've had with you, searching for clues they missed. They'll try to rationalize what happened, find explanations that don't threaten their own worldview. But deep down, they'll know the truth. They underestimated someone who should never have been underestimated. And do you know what will happen after the initial shock? They'll try to get back together. They'll act as if they've always believed in you. They'll pretend they never doubted you, never laughed at you, never belittled you. They'll come up with elaborate excuses for their past behavior and desperate attempts to embody your success. But you will remember, Scorpio never forgets. Not with resentment or bitterness, but with crystal clarity about who showed their true colors when you needed support most. You will be kind, you will be polite, but you will never trust them the same way again. You will never again share your dreams with people who have proven themselves incapable of honoring them. What lies ahead will teach a valuable lesson not only to these people, but to anyone who witnesses their transformation. Never underestimate the strength of someone forged by adversity. Never belittle the dreams of someone who had the courage to pursue the impossible. And never ever laugh at a Scorpio who has decided to transform. Because the truth is, you Scorpios don't just survive, you dominate. You don't just adapt, you evolve. You don't just overcome obstacles, you turn them into stepping stones. And when you finally reveal what you're capable of, the world is never the same. Your transformation is gaining momentum right now. With each passing day, you're one step closer to proving to yourself, and consequently to everyone else, that they were completely wrong about you. That your intensity was depth, that your obsession was dedication, that your impossible dreams were just visions of a future you were destined to create. And when that moment arrives, when the reality of your transformation becomes undeniable, you will feel something you've never experienced before, the profound satisfaction of having fully honored your own essence, of having persisted when it would have been easier to give up, of having believed in yourself when no one else did. People who laugh won't just be surprised, they'll be transformed. Because witnessing a true metamorphosis changes the viewer. It forces an expansion of perception about what's possible. It challenges limiting beliefs about human potential. And in the end, it will benefit even those who initially doubted, because they will learn that the world is much bigger and more full of possibilities than they imagined. Scorpio, in the coming days and weeks, you'll begin to feel subtle but powerful changes unfolding in your life. Opportunities that seemed closed will begin to open up. People who can help you manifest your vision will appear. Resources you've needed will materialize. These aren't coincidences. It's the universe finally aligning circumstances to support what you've always known was possible. Pay special attention to signs that your transformation is gaining speed. Moments where you feel more confident than usual. Situations where your presence has a greater impact than you expected. Conversations where your words carry a weight you didn't feel before. These are indicators that the transformed version of you is emerging. And when those people who laughed finally witness your complete transformation, you'll discover something surprising. You won't feel the desire for revenge you might have expected. Instead, you'll feel a deep compassion for them. You'll understand that they laughed not because you were ridiculous, but because your dreams forced them to confront their own limitations. Your ambitions mirrored to them everything they'd given up on pursuing. The real victory won't be proving them wrong. It'll be discovering that you never needed their approval to be extraordinary, that the power to transform yourself was within you all along, waiting only for the right moment to emerge. That every laugh you endured was actually an investment in the inner strength that is now about to manifest in spectacular ways. And perhaps most beautiful of all, your transformation will inspire others who have also been underestimated. You will become living proof that it is possible to transcend the limitations others try to impose. You will show that being misunderstood doesn't mean being incapable, that being different doesn't mean being defective, that dreaming big doesn't mean being delusional. People who are going through what you went through now will look at your journey and find the courage to persist. They will see in you confirmation that it's worth believing in yourself, even when no one else does. They will discover that the opinions of others, however painful they may be at the moment, never truly determine what you can or cannot become. Scorpio, what's coming will surprise even you, not only because of the magnitude of the transformation, but also because of how easily it will happen once you completely stop resisting your own power. For years, you may have tried to fit into smaller versions of yourself so as not to upset others. You may have diminished your intensity, disguised your ambition, hidden your unique gifts, but the time has come to stop hiding. It's time to fully embrace who you are and let the world adjust to your presence instead of shrinking yourself to fit into the world of others. And when you do, when you finally allow yourself to be completely authentic, the transformation will be so rapid and complete that it will seem almost magical. Those who laughed will witness not only your success, but your complete personal transformation. They will see someone who has not only achieved material goals, but has become a magnificently powerful and authentic version of themselves. And this personal transformation will be far more impressive than any external achievement. They'll realize that while they've remained the same limited person they've always been, you've transformed into something they can't even categorize. Someone who operates at a level of authenticity and personal power they've never experienced. Someone who's not only achieved dreams, but has become the kind of person capable of achieving any dream they choose to pursue. And when you reach this level of personal transformation, you'll discover something extraordinary. You no longer need to prove anything to anyone. Not because you've given up on your goals, but because you've finally understood that your worth has never depended on the validation of others, that you've always been extraordinary, even when they couldn't see it, that the only opinion that truly matters about your potential is your own. The surprise you'll instill in these people won't just be about what you've achieved, it'll be about who you've become in the process. And this transformed person emerging from the ashes of your past experiences will be so magnetically powerful that it will alter the dynamics of every relationship around you. Scorpio, get ready. What's coming will surpass even your own wildest expectations. It will prove not only to them, but especially to you, that there were never any real limits to what you could become, that the only barriers were those you allowed others to build in your mind. And now that those barriers are being torn down one by one, there's nothing left that can stop your complete metamorphosis. They laughed, but now they'll be surprised. They'll be forced to expand their definition of what's possible. They'll discover they underestimated not only their goals, but their very essence. And you'll discover that this was exactly what you needed to become, who you were always destined to be. Someone absolutely impossible to ignore, impossible to underestimate, impossible to forget. If you've made it this far and feel this message was specifically for you, if you recognized your own pain and strength in these words, leave your comment now. Your story of overcoming adversity could be exactly what another Scorpio needs to read today. Subscribe to the channel because your transformation is just beginning, and I'll be here to accompany you through every stage of this extraordinary metamorphosis. Turn on notifications because when your turnaround starts to manifest, you'll want specific guidance on how to navigate your newfound power, how to handle the reactions of those around you, how to maintain your authenticity as the world tries to label and categorize you again. They laughed, but the laughter is about to die in their throats. What's to come will be so extraordinary that it will redefine not only how they see you, but how they see the very nature of human potential. Prepare to amaze not only them, but the entire world, starting with yourself.